Who Lord, here we go. We're live, we're on air. Human beings. Human beings can now view me and everything that is around me in all of its in all of its fullness. I've I've hesitated to do one of these streams. Bert, you want to get out of the room, or yeah, it looks like you want to be out of the room. So I'm gonna let you out of the room. Yeah, go free. Woo! Um, it's been a long while since I've done one of these Star live streams, and I guess the main reason why has just been I've been I feel like I've been starved for things to actually talk about. Like I could easily just come on here and spout nonsense the way that I've done before. If given enough pressure, I can always find at least something to say in order to just fill the airwaves. That's where that term comes from. You know, you're filling the airwaves with whatever you can just so there is sound. And I would say I'm pretty decent at that in terms of finding the things to say and then making them at least moderately kind of interesting enough to keep you from just tabbing off or turning it off. But I want to go. I've been wanting to go a step further with videos these days. I might need to put these on in a moment. Uh, Twisted in the chat says hello. Hello, Twisted. It's nice seeing you here. Yeah, I basically the reason why I haven't been live streaming anywhere near as much as I used to is because I've been thinking a lot about the quality of these videos. I don't want to be putting things on the internet that are just bad or it could be better in enough ways that I'm dissatisfied with them because inevitably everything you make is going to be flawed. There's going to be one angle you can look at it from that would suggest that there's something wrong here that needs to be retooled, redone, remastered, whatever. And I feel that way about everything that I've made. There's always a flaw, at least one, but usually a lot of flaws in everything that I make. I'm recognizing it all the time. Even the videos I've made that I really like, I feel that way that they can always be improved on. And that sense of improvement that you can always be getting better never really goes away. You can see people who are in their 90s or even in their late 90s who are talking about, oh yeah, I've been alive all this time, way more than any of you, and I still feel like I have to constantly improve. So the spirit never really dies out if what the old folks have to say means anything to me, which it does because I care about the wisdom that they have. And so no matter what I'm doing, there's always going to be flaws that need to be ironed out. But I think there are generally things that I can avoid that are bigger flaws that can be avoided by just putting more thought into what I'm doing what I'm doing less, focusing on putting out videos less and focusing more on conceptualizing the kind of video I would like to make more. Um, and so when it comes to live streams, these kind of spontaneous streams of consciousness, the reason why I haven't been doing them nearly as much anymore is because I see them as something that had a lot of problems in how I was doing it. I was doing them so often that the ideas I would have just wouldn't be interesting enough to to keep the stream entertaining if you watched it back because I look at all of these as like a podcast that someone can listen to. It's something that as you're listening to it back, you're finding little valuable moments and bits that might keep you thinking after you turn the video off. That's what I would like for it to be, or at least to have funny enough moments that would make someone laugh or intrigue them. And and if you're live streaming every single day or even, every week, that that amount of stuff to have to talk about sort of diminishes. And so the reason I'm not doing like the rapid live streaming schedule anymore that I used to be doing is because of that. Is because uh, the nature of streaming that much is one that you're always going to be running out. You're always going to have the sense that there's not enough things to say. Um, Hello, Airwind, Deep Diver, and DZD. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So yeah, I think in general I'm just going to continue streaming like a lot less the way that I have been doing it, but there is something kind of comfy about it. Like I think where because I was looking back through my old videos, and I think where a lot of the comfiness came from was just the fact that streaming for me was so new that I was getting out every single thought that had been unspoken, like everything that I had been thinking about and that I wanted to say, I was just getting out in streams. And so streams became, along with the videos that I was producing at the time. I'm talking like summer 2019, fall 2019, when I was given back my live streaming ability. It was just such a fun thing for me to do because all of a sudden I had this brand new capability that I could use the speaking skills that I had been practicing for all these years at this point, towards something. And there were so many people that would show up in the chats that it was just like constant feedback of like people giving me things to say and me having more things to respond to. And so, like when I think of like a golden age on my channel, I kind of think of that era, um, that like summer 2019, early fall 2019, spring 2019 era. Um, are you pacing back and forth? Lol, yes, I am. Nice posters, thank you. Yeah, the every poster I have the GTA 3 poster, I have the Spirited Away poster, which was a gift from my father. I have the a Japanese Christmas K-On! Poster, which is one of my favorite anime. I love K-On! And then a Ponyo Ponyo Digikara poster, which I found in my parents' attic because Ponyo Ponyo Digikara was the first anime that I ever saw. It's basically like this cute girls kind of slice of life spastic comedy show where there's a new like gag in every single episode, and every episode is kind of just the characters exploring that gag. They have a bit of the Puni Moe aesthetic of little bodies with big heads, that the early 2000s was kind of known for in that sphere of anime. And so I was introduced to this show by my dad because my dad thought the show was funny, and he had a poster of the show as well. And so I found that poster in my parents' attic, back in Tennessee where I grew up, and I put the poster up in my room because I just had the poster this whole time. And I doubt it's going down anytime soon because I don't know where someone would even get this poster because it seems like kind of an exclusive thing to the Ponyo Ponyo Digikara American DVD, you know? Like, I don't know how many people even have this poster anymore. So I definitely don't want to get rid of it. It means a lot to me, and just because it was the first anime I ever saw, thanks to my dad. But the other poster I have here is Serial Experiments Lane. This is just like a random knockoff poster I got from what is it called, like a Chinese Hong Kong seller on eBay. It took a really long time to get here, but there's that. Um, Akuji the Heartless, the PS1 game. This is a really fun, kind of, it's not really a puzzle platformer. It's more in the vein of Soul Reaver, if you've ever played Soul Reaver, where you're traversing these big environments, and you have to solve some puzzles, but it's more about the combat. This was another poster I got from my dad because back when the PS1 was around, he was a really big fan of this game. And I don't remember the story as to how exactly he got the poster, but on the back of it, which is the part that I chose not to put up in my room, there's There's Gex the Gecko, which was he was the poster child for Crystal Dynamics at the time, which Crystal Dynamics made a lot of amazing games on the PS1. Um, Star, did you get any good loot when the looting was going on? Unfortunately, I didn't go out to loot. I There was a lot of looting going on in my state of Kentucky, but the thing was is that I could not, if I was going to go protest and be involved in all of those situations that were going on, I would have probably brought home COVID, and I can't bring home COVID because my dad works with old people, like literally with old people. That's his job. So I I I wasn't gonna risk it because in Louisville, where people were protesting, a lot of people were testing positive for COVID, like right after protesting. So R.I.P. to that. The Doom poster. This is another thing that I inherited, and it's kind of, I feel bad for how I'm treating this poster because my chair constantly like swivels and hits it, and I feel like it's doing damage to the poster. That kind of bothers me. And now for the funniest thing in my room, the Chinese flag. The story behind this is strange, right? So I am by no means a supporter of China. I think they are a racist, fascist government that is right now not just actively putting Muslims in concentration camps, they're also systemically suppressing black people, literally Africans. The police in China are profiling Africans and black people, which is really fucked up and gross. It's a surveillance state that, the government watches everybody and gives you a social credit score. Horrible, horrible country. Um, but the reason I have the Chinese flag up is so that if anyone came on this channel and immediately had a problem with the idea of me supporting China, they would unsubscribe that, or they would unsubscribe from here. Um, but because generally I'm about the idea that everyone's perspective should be represented. I'm a very strong proponent of like free association and free speech, and so I'm willing to listen to people on YouTube who are Nazis. I'm willing to listen to people on YouTube who have beliefs that are completely different than mine, who don't align with anything that I think. And so like if you came on my channel and thought I was a China supporter, which again I'm not, I would want you to unsubscribe because the kind of person who would not be that open-minded, the kind of person who would unsubscribe just because they disagreed with somebody is not the kind of person who I want watching my videos because that for one they're probably going to unsubscribe eventually because I'll say something that'll upset them in some other way. But also like I just don't feel like those kind of people should be watching my channel if they're not that open-minded. Star, you are the only Jew I like. That's based. That is incredibly based. Um, I think there was some looting in Texas, but not a lot. That makes sense. Yeah, I saw some of the protests from Austin, and it was literally just like hipsters going and yelling, and that was it. Where is it? There we go. It's working now. Pretty based. Yeah, let's see here. I'm missing a lot of the chat. Same, really wanted to bring people water, but my mom is immunocompromised. Yeah. Let's see here. I vaguely remember watching Digikara. I wish I could catch up with you with everything that happened with me. It sucks you're not using Discord anymore. Um, so I'm going to tell your parents are weebs. I agree. Uh, let's see. Hello, Lane. Yeah, we got two lanes in here. Uh, okay, so to explain the Discord situation, After a month of being off of Discord, I decided to return to Discord in a very limited way. Like, my Discord's not going to be public anymore. If you ask for my Discord, I'm probably going to tell you no. With the exception of like very few people, I'm just not really talking to people anymore. And I found that that's been much, much better for my mental health, is just to talk to like a few people and then that's it. Generally, like that's just the way I am. That's the way I conduct my life. So if you want to speak to me, I'm sorry, but I just the only way that like I can use Discord without wanting to tear my hair out is by only speaking to a couple people. So that's, and even though I'm only speaking to a couple people, I still randomly leave for a couple days, or I have days where I just don't say very much of anything or barely check the app. So um, that's I'm just not Discord right now. And I don't think I will for the foreseeable future. Even though I have an account, it's something that I really don't use that much. Um, let's see if let's see here. Hey Star-chan, I hope you're feeling well, sister. The the camera keeps breaking. I keep being mind broken by the camera. Star can't get away from Discord. It's like crack, you can't stop. Yeah, I mean, like, at least if we're putting this in the crack metaphor, that like, oh yeah, I did crack once and now it's with me forever. At least I'm only using it like very little, if that's the metaphor we're using here. Um, uh, is your relationship with Red slash Rimu fine now? Yeah, he and I are both friends. I'm in his private server of like 5 people, and yeah, me and Red are friends. Rip, no more VC then. Damn, Star, you got long nails. I've always had long nails. Like my like basically ever since I was like a little kid, ever since I was a little kid, my nails have always been very like long, and like they look like, a lot of the time they look like they're manicured even though they're not. Um, this poster, or I guess this wall scroll right here, is from the anime series Rakugo Shenju, which is one of my favorite anime series. Now you'll see that I'm holding it up with tape because I didn't want to have to go through the effort of like putting it up properly, so I'm holding it up with tape. But this is an amazing show. It's like I haven't seen it in like 3 or 4 years, or whenever it came out. I saw the second season when it came out and the first season when it came out, which was like 3 years ago. So I don't remember too much from it. Um, but it's an amazing drama series, like really unlike most anime that you'll find. Um, I'm always biting my nails because I get stressed. I've never bitten my nails before. Weirdly enough, it just never happens to me. Um, this poster right here, well, this isn't a poster. This is the flag of Bhutan, the small Buddhist country in the middle of in the middle of China and India. It's just this really, really tiny Buddhist kingdom that like no one knows about. Why do I have this flag up? I really don't know. I just thought the flag looked cool, and I had a space on my wall that I wanted to be covered by something, and so I put it there. I wish I could move to Bhutan so bad. Sometimes I get that feel, but I also like technology and like physical attachments too much to be able to make a commitment like that. Maybe I could live in Bhutan if I were allowed to just have like books shipped out. Like if I stopped being so concerned with like the physical media and the video games and stuff, maybe I could get on fine living in Bhutan. Like, because I'm starting to realize like that reading books is really like all I want to do. Like this isn't even all the books that I own, but Yeah, like I read quite a bit. Um, and I'm getting to the point where that's like mainly what I want to do is just read books. And so maybe there's a scenario a couple years from now where I just get so into that the idea of living in dial-up internet Bhutan where, you can't really get all of these like physical games that I like to collect and stuff, maybe that's the future. Maybe that's who I'll be. Um, but it is a really cool place. I said YouTube and my comment got deleted. What the fuck, YouTube? Yeah, YouTube censors out stuff that they think is hateful. My friend stopped being my friend after some misinterpretation happened over text when she came out as a trans girl and wanted to know if I would still date her. I wanted to tell you about it. I mean, like there everyone has their own everyone has their own level of comfortability. If if you aren't comfortable with something about that other person, then there's not really anything you can do about it. It may hurt them for a time, in whatever feelings you're having are, but that doesn't make your feelings less valid. Ultimately, there's no such thing as a wrong feeling. There's wrong actions you can have as a result of a feeling, but when it comes to relationships, your comfortability matters the most. Do what makes you the most comfortable. And if they can't understand that, then that's their cross to bear. They'll get over it eventually. But there's a level of respect that both people have to have for one another. Yeah, my phone keeps cutting out, but basically what I was saying is that if there's a sense of mutual respect, then there's going to be a sense that, yeah, I may be sad that you break up with me or whatever, but you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as both of you respect one another enough to respect each other's boundaries. You got to respect each other's boundaries. Um, I got my Twitter I got my Twitter banned for saying Jews run Black Lives Matter. That's based. That's incredibly based. Um hey Molly Boom, what's up? Um but yeah. Yeah, relationships aren't so difficult once you realize it's mostly about respecting other people's boundaries. And when someone feels uncomfortable, prolonging the thing doesn't really make very much sense. Like you just gotta forgive and forget. But what else do you guys want me to talk about? It's been a long time since I've live streamed. I feel kind of jittery and strange. Hmm. I'm doing very good, but it's okay. I'm not doing very good, but it's okay. It'll pass. It always passes. Like for the last like several weeks, I've just been incredibly depressed. And I always know that when I feel that way, I can just consume media and then ignore it. Or if I'm not consuming media and ignoring it, I know that whatever's going on, I'll feel differently in some way eventually. And so I just stop worrying about it at that point. Like you got to keep in mind the future, what the future, how it, yeah, you know all this. I love the boomer knowledge from Snow. Yeah, I'm a boomer energy. Boomer energy is my specialty. um, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm at the point where I've kind of just accepted being depressed. Like I've accepted that in one way or another I'm going to be feeling icky and bad, and I don't think it's that bad of a thing to be depressed. Like as long as you can do the things that you enjoy, as long as you have passions that you care about, as long as you're constantly wanting to improve yourself and be a better person than you were yesterday, what's so bad about being depressed? Like it hurts, but it's not so bad. Um, Let's see here. What OS is your dream OS star? This. Um, I may have asked this months ago, but I can't remember. Probably Arch. Probably Arch Linux. I really want to use Arch Linux. Either that or that like North Korean OS, whatever it was called. Um, I kind of want to hook the PlayStation 1 up. This is really random, but I have to. Let me. I don't know if you can even see in here. Can you guys see in here? This is my closet. Look at how cluttered my closet is. The light on YouTube doesn't typically allow it to stay on for very long. But yeah, this closet is an obscene mess in here. Uh, I'm really not taking like the like what this is such a terrible way to take care of things. Like look at this for example. Like I just have this old GameCube booklet just sitting around. That's really I shouldn't I yeah, Sega Saturn. This is actually a Japanese Sega Saturn. This is the Japanese version. I haven't played it. I've just kind of left it in here because I don't have the cords for it. But like, I want to hook up the PlayStation 1. Oh, I really got to keep better. I mean, this is in a decent spot. This is one of the most valuable things I own is Mr. Deuce Castle in the box on the ColecoVision. Uh, this game, this game is worth like over $100 last time I checked. But I didn't pay that for it. It was my dad's growing up. So I think that's probably one of the most valuable video games that I own. I got a I got a copy of House of the Dead by Dostoevsky just like randomly over here. Um, Give me that Sega Saturn. Unfortunately, I can't. I don't know what's back here. Yeah, I have the PS1 in here, but I don't know where any of the cords are, and I really don't want to dig out all of these boxes. So I don't think I want to. I don't want to play PS1. Um, I mean, if I just moved all of these books, I could just play my PS1 games on the PS2. But I don't, like the problem is that I own so many books that what I used to do was I had put them all up here. Geez, Star, you are a boomer. Yeah, I am basically a boomer. Yeah. Like I put all my books up here for the longest time, and I was running out of room, so I started putting them here. And because I started putting them here, they're covering up my other monitor, which is the monitor I use to play the PS2 on, which is really annoying. Um, Welcome to the NHK manga. Read this manga; it's really good. Um, but like when it comes to storage space, I'm just all over the place. Um, let's see. I've been getting rid of most of my physical games. I'm going digital. I'm keeping the PS3 because it's hard to emulate that. Um, uh, yeah. I mean, I generally just like physical media. I can understand being more into things digitally just out of convenience. But for me personally, I've always been a video game collector. I love collecting video games. It feels good for me. And there's a certain charm to having the physical games. So that's probably always where I'm going to be. But I certainly understand that mindset of needing things to be more convenient. What edition of original Xbox is that? Weirdly enough, weirdly enough, this is not an official variant. This, you could turn on my light here. This Xbox is not. This was never an official painting. My dad literally painted this. He took the time to paint like every part of the machine. You can't really see it very well, but yeah, he painted the entire thing himself, just as like a project. And so I still have it after all of this time. So there's no other Xbox that looks like that because he painted it back in like 2006, 2005 or something like that. I was really, really young. In 2005, I was 3 years old, but I can still kind of remember it. It was really cool. Um, let's see here. I have around 5 valuable games. Pokemon Platinum, which is $60 to $80. SmackDown, here comes plain is 50. Dragon Ball Advance Adventure is 80. Pokemon Soul is Silver. Smash Bros. Melee is 50. Those are all kind of the only reason those games are expensive is because they're valued. Like people really want to play those games. There's copies of them everywhere, but their value sticks around because of how much individual value people put on them. It's not because of rarity. Um, let's see. I feel like there's a comment I missed. Let's see here. Let's see here. I had a talk with my dad recently, and the boomer advice hit me hard. It was nice. Yeah, the thing about boomer advice is that usually it's correct. Like, the reason why boomer advice is a cliche is because a lot of the time cliches are true. You just need the right experience to validate the advice. Like, you can agree with advice conceptually, but the advice does not become real until you have experiences that confirm the advice. And then that's when the light goes off in your head and you go, "Oh, I understand now. I get it now." Um, let's see here. Do 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 do. PS3 is good for backwards compatibility too. It depends on which model you get. I just hate GameStop. That's why I went digital. Hate those money hungry fuckers. I buy everything through eBay and Amazon. Um, I usually collect games I've wanted for a long time or ones I grew up with. Yeah, generally I buy games to play them. I don't like buying games just so I can have them. But like I also buy games that I play for like 10 minutes, or at least I used to. These days I'm much, much more careful with how I spend my money, but um, I used to just buy games that like, yeah, if I can get 10 minutes out of this, that's good enough for me because I just wanted to collect them. And if I was a more wealthy person, I would buy a lot more just for the sake of collecting it, but I've never bought a game and not played it. That's the thing, is that I will always play it if I buy it. Even if it's like really bad, I try to get the most out of it that I can. Um, let's see here. Wait, I have Pokemon Silver. Nigga, time to get some money. It is true. Um, let's see. One of your vids from a while ago had a clip of a HP MX70 CRT monitor in it. I'm on a quest to find that monitor now. It's bubbly in all the right ways. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that monitor anymore, but that one was a gift from somebody's garage, if I recall correctly. It was around the time that my monitor had broke, and I think the video you might be referring to is Understood, because Understood had a bunch of old footage in it, like old footage, and that monitor was given to me after my CRT monitor had broken, and so let's just look at the stuff in here. I don't know if I've showed this stuff on stream before. If I could just turn the light on. This stuff, Nintendo Switch games. My Nintendo Switch games is pretty limited as a collection. I have like a lot of what we would call like normie games, like Saints Row 4 re-elected. This is just like a Grand Theft Auto clone. I mean, I like this series a lot because generally I like open world kind of Grand Theft Auto games because I am a normie. Assassin's Creed 3, this is again just normie. This is a very, very normie game to own, but I enjoy it. Saints Row the Third, the full package. I have done everything you can do in this game, basically. I've like completed it. It's very fun GTA clone on the Switch. I like being able to carry it portably. Dark Souls Remastered. I have not finished this game because it is punishingly hard, but it is fun. Um, Toho Kobuto Burst Battle. This game I've played for a little bit. It's very repetitive. You know, like once you play all of the stages, you have the option of replaying them with different characters, but I find that to be kind of boring. Payday 2. This is kind of an inferior version of the PC game. It's basically just a PC, a port from the PC to the Switch without all the updates and extra stuff. Kind of mediocre. Pokemon Shield. This came with my Switch, but honestly, I just hate Pokemon games, so I didn't really get very much out of this. We got an old Dreamcast Generations demo disc here. I have two of those. Did you buy the Black Justice game bundle? No, because I only had $4 in my bank account at the time. Um, we've got let's see here, Transformers, the Revenge of the Fallen, decent game, not very good. Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, very funny. This game is a very funny, like, if you like the Phoenix Wright games from Nintendo, Ace Attorney, the games where you play as just an attorney. It is very much in the style of Phoenix Wright, but with uh, fully animated Harvey Birdman characters from the animated series on Adult Swim. Great game. I believe it was also on the Nintendo Wii, but don't quote me on that. The PS2 version is good nonetheless. Kingdom Hearts 2, absolutely fantastic action RPG with the breathtaking story that I still don't really understand, but good nonetheless. Demon Stone, kind of a boring hack and slash kind of game. I never really got very into it, but the graphics are impressive for a PS2 game. Like, I thought the way people's hair, for example, looked in the game was kind of pushing the limits of what the console could do. Call of Duty 2, nothing really needs to be said about that one. Red Faction 2, I don't know if I would say I liked this game as much as Red Faction 1, but it's an okay first person shooter. I mean, I like it more than most first person shooters that are coming out nowadays, but I mean, what does that say? Hot Shots Golf, decent golf game. This came with my PS2. It's kind of comfy. Generally, I like golf games just because I can relax when I'm playing them. Shin Megami Tensei Persona 3. I never beat this game. I got a couple hours of the way through, but it's a fun RPG. The Suffering. This game caught me by surprise because I did not expect like a deep story. I didn't expect all of the psychological drama that I ended up getting. But it gives you feels. It is a very horrifying sort of atmospheric action horror game where you're basically stuck in a prison. You are in a prison that is overrun by monsters and zombies, and you have to battle your way out, all while battling the memories of what crime you potentially committed. You're on death row up to this point, and the idea is that you like killed your whole family, but it's not entirely clear that you actually committed that crime. And so with the flashback sequences, depending on how many good or bad things you do throughout the game, the flashback sequences change, and like the voices that you hear in your head in the game change. And the story, yeah, the story was surprisingly impactful for me. A very good game for the time. Triple play baseball. I mean, if I'm really bored, I give it a shot, but it's not really anything of note. Namco Museum. All of the Namco arcade games are great. Um, Siren. This is a very unique Japanese horror game where basically you have almost no weapons. A lot of the game is spent running away from enemies, but it's incredibly atmospheric. I never finished it, but it's really good. DT Carnage, semi-decent racing game. Uh, SpongeBob Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, nowhere near as good as the other SpongeBob games. It's okay. I don't really care about it. Namco Museum on the PS1 had a really amazing 3D museum walk around. Nice. Yeah, I never played that version, but I might give it a shot. It's probably like a couple dollars these days. Let's see, yeah, GTA 3, Top Gun, Ratchet and Clank, 007 Quantum of Solace. This is an inferior port of a PS3 game. But I mean, as a video game, I thought it was decently fun. The reason I bought it was because it was like $1, and I just really needed a video game to play. Um, Sonic or Sega Superstar Tennis. I've played hours and hours of that game, even though it's just a couple of tennis rinks and it's basically the same thing every time. It is just so comfy that I just had to keep playing it. The Getaway Black Monday, a very fun open world game where you play as a cop, which you can choose to take actions as like a good or bad cop, similar to the True Crime series. But yeah, it's a fun game. The voice acting is also incredible. Like they really went ham on having voice actors, and the story is pretty decent as well. SOCOM 3 U.S. Navy SEALs, that's the least favorite of all of the SOCOM games for me. It's still really fun. I love the series, but um, I don't know, like the realism that the second game had with being a Navy SEAL, that like you really got the sense that I'm commanding my team to take these actions, and we're acting as a unit, and I have to strategize into each level. There's something about it that just felt more sloppy with the third game. Like it was like the graphics had improved and the gameplay took a nosedive. Um, Quality games you got there. Thank you. Yeah, over here we got Timesplitters, really good game. First person shooter, kind of a launch title for the PS2. MDK2 Armageddon. I only got this game recently. I haven't played it too much yet, but it's kind of a fun third person shooter where you have the ability to like fly around. Enjoyed that one a lot. Metal Gear Solid 3 and 2. I've only really played much of 2. I haven't even played 3 yet because I want to get the full experience out of the second game. Mercenaries 2 World in Flames, really underwhelming port. If you want to play this game properly, play the Xbox 360 version. Otherwise, you're just going to be bored out of your mind. Sonic Unleashed, decent 3D Sonic game. I'm not going to say it's anything amazing, but I mean, I had some fun with it. Um, Manhunt. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I haven't played Manhunt 2, which everyone says is a lot better, but this game, the executions that you perform in this game are so gruesome that like it's really cool. You like the stealth mechanics, the how progressively difficult every level you go to gets, or like you just yeah, stealth games are cool. I actually made a video talking more in depth about this game, so if you just look through my channel, you'll find it. Um, SOCOM 1 and 2, fantastic games. My favorite's the second one. Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, fantastic RPG. I think this is the only like Shin Megami Tensei game I've finished. It's really difficult, but very satisfying. Midway Treasures 1, fun arcade stuff. Bully, Jimmy Neutron, State of Emergency. Um, let's see here. Move this milligram scale. Um, yeah, let's see. Yakuza. Yeah, Yakuza's an amazing series. I haven't really dipped too much into the first game yet. I really ought to, but we got Yakuza there, Devil May Cry, and then Max Payne. So that yeah, that's all of my that's all of my PS2 games. Um, yeah, we got PSP stuff here. Really, like none of this. Like, most of these games are actually bad. There's not really very many good PSP games. I mean, I could go into my PS1 stuff, but like, there's not a lot of Boomer Star back at it again. I see. Um, like my PS1 stuff isn't like particularly interesting. I guess there's Soul of the Samurai. Soul of the Samurai is a fun game. The original Resident Evil is obviously great. Metal Gear is obviously great. Swagman. I think this game is interesting. I don't want to damage the box by pulling it out too forcefully because this game is a bit rare now. But this is Swagman by Eidos or Eidos, however you say the working with Core Designs. This was a top down not really puzzle game, but a sort of a top down adventure game where everyone looks like they're claymation characters. and it's a little difficult at first to figure out, but I highly recommend this game. It's getting more expensive as time goes on. I remember when I bought it, it was like I think I paid like $30 for that game, something absurd like that. But yeah, I really highly recommend Swagman. Um, yeah, so those are my video games. Um, let's see. Swagman looks cool. Yeah, it's very fun. I could go into the NES stuff, but if I went into the NES stuff, I'd have to move all of those clothes that the totes are on, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, that I haven't. I've been so obsessed with video games for so long. I don't play video games nearly as much as I used to, and I'm kind of kicking myself in the head for it because I feel like I'd probably be less depressed if I played video games more. Because I look at the periods of my life when I was doing really well, and usually it was because I was productive, like working on something, or I had like a goal I was getting better at, or I was just playing games a lot, or I was reading a lot. It's playing video games and reading seems to be like the least depressed states that I'm in. And I think it's because there's a sense of progression when you're doing either one in something that, is interesting and fun to you. That's kind of the point. Uh, I'm trying to plug the NES in. Who Lord? Um, I think ever since I removed the carpet from my floor, the I lost my tripod from my phone ever since I removed the carpet from the floor, and it's made me theorize that I lost the I lost it when I removed the carpet because basically I just rolled the carpet up out from under there, and I pulled it out. I pulled it out from under the bed, and then just like lifted the bed up, and then yanked the rest of it out, and then continued rolling it up. And I think in that process, I accidentally sweeped up the tripod. Let's see here. Is the NES working today? Front. It doesn't seem to be working. Is there even a game in it? Should be. I don't think it's working. Swagman looks. Yeah, it is a good game. Maybe it's not plugged in. Did I? Is there a game in here? Yeah, it's High Speed Pinball. High Speed Pinball is actually a great rendition of pinball. Why does this BLM stuff keep popping up in my recommendation? Fuck off YouTube? Because YouTube has a political agenda. YouTube has a political agenda they're trying to push on you. Because they're a neoliberal corporation who wants to use identity politics to obfuscate from the real problems that are going on. Let's see here. I wish YouTube would start putting in people's recommendations how over the last several years so many of our jobs have been shipped off overseas. I really wish YouTube would talk about that. No, we can't talk about how the economy actually affects black people. We just have to pander to you with this virtue signaling nonsense. Like, look at all of the black workers in Michigan who are working in factories who now don't have a job because of outsourcing. Did I just see a Lane poster in your thumbnail? Yeah, earlier in the stream I explained all of my posters. What YouTube should really be doing is talking about how... Oh, there we go. We got the video game. Nah, YouTube will only talk about gays and black people, nothing else. Oh, who Lord. Woo! High-speed pinball. I can play this game with one hand because it's really just two buttons. You don't really need any other buttons than just one hand. Here we go. I've played this game for so many hours. It's crazy. All right. Yeah, get ready. Ready to see how amazing I am at this. Actually, yeah, you do just need one hand. I'm so amazing at pinball, you don't even know. I'm not actually good at pinball at all. Let's go, pinball boomers star in their element. Yes. Uh, oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm in my element. I'm doing some Mr. Miyagi shit right now. This is actually kind of difficult to play with one hand because one of the bumpers is controlled with the it's controlled with the D-pad that you would use to walk in most games, but because I'm holding the camera with one hand, I can't hold the controller like a normal person. God, I love video games so much. Video games are so cool. I think I want to get more NES games because the NES is such an interesting console, and I feel like because the prices for NES games now are going down. This is really hard. Wait, do you want me to call you a he or a she? Don't want to be an asshole because I like you. I would prefer she, yeah. I understand like it being difficult to transition to like what I would be called and whatnot because like I've been called he for so long and I haven't medically transitioned yet, so I don't look like a girl yet, but yeah, that's what I would prefer. Thank you for asking. Um Pong. This is literally Pong basically. I mean, okay, it's not literally Pong, but it's close. I wonder what star videos are gonna look like when that becomes my physical form. When my final form is me my final form is me coming out here in a I'm not seeing some messages. Am I like shadow banned? That's YouTube. That's all YouTube. Same. Yeah, for some reason like YouTube is with my chat specifically, they always censor a bunch of stuff. There's no banned words on my channel. It's because you're a Jew. But yeah, there's no banned words on my channel, but for some reason YouTube just does that anyway. I'm such a fucking boomer, dude. I'm thinking of like making anti-Semitic videos, like making videos against Jews and seeing if they can get flagged for community guidelines. I hope transition brings you some joy, Star. It really will. This is something I've wanted since I was like a little kid. Um and it's weird like going your whole life feeling that way and then you can just finally tell the world that yeah, that's how I felt this whole time and it's no big deal. Like no one really cared when I said it. They were like, "Oh yeah, okay, that's neat. That's just live your life." And it was really nice how people, you know, people people didn't see it as like this big horrible thing. It was just kind of, oh, they're just living their life. It's nice. Like I try not to judge anybody else for what they want to do. Um, hell yeah, pinball. Yeah, I am literally a boomer. I think I might be one of the most strange trans people on the internet. Like Pong is bad. Like I don't think anyone could name like another trans person like me. Like is could you like it's like when you think of like the image of like the archetypical tranny, it's kind of oh ooh woo teddy bear, oh whoa, hug me, oh whoa. And like a lot of that kind of attention seeking stuff. Or you have people who are like, or they like make music. Like, I feel like some of the most recognizable trans people online are just musicians. Obviously, I don't make music, but I can't really recognize like people who make videos the way that I do, or people who say the things that I do while being trans. Um, let's see here. Let me read the chat. You are the only trans person I watch. You are based. The rest is over annoying. Thank you. Yeah. No, I like being based. Everyone should be more based. We get it. You're not like the other girls. Yeah. Let's see. I'm happy for you figuring out your identity. One sec. I have pinball here to make. Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, okay. No, I have to like really pay attention for a moment. I will read your message in a sec. This is actually really difficult to do with one hand. You don't understand you don't understand how hard this is. Rip life. Yeah, rip life. R.I.P. Um, I'm happy for you figuring out your identity. I hope one day my trans friend comes around and understand there was a misunderstanding. It sucks that even I told her nothing would change. She dipped. Yeah, it's really sad that that something like that happened. I think, and maybe I'm gonna get flack for saying this, but I feel like a lot of people in the trans community are just oversensitive. Like I get comments almost every day saying really nasty things to me, and I don't throw up on it. I don't get all upset. Oh, look at how terrible this comment was. Like I feel like a lot of a lot of us care way too much. Like we care way too much about how other people are perceiving us or what other people are saying. Where I think sort of what embracing your identity should be about is about allowing like it should be about respecting those people's free speech and respecting your freedom to be able to live the way that you want as well. Like I like even though I don't value personally the freedom to call people names or to be like a rude I respect other people's freedom to do that. And I can have my opinion about what they're doing, but I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna let it eat away at me. And I feel like there's a lot of kind of authoritarian attitudes that people in the LGBT space harbor. Um, People care too much in general. I agree. Um, Pinball is so easy. Why are you so bad? Because I'm playing with one hand. Listen here, Drunken Ninja. I am playing with one hand. Let's. But I have to carry the phone somehow. I have to carry the phone somehow. um, but. Oh shit! Fuck. Alphabet Mafia. Yes. Um, but so this is how I'm playing the game, just to demonstrate to you. Star a Boomer, she got this. Like, so I'm playing it like this. I have to press this button, and then I have to press this specific like this right D-pad right there. That one in order to make the pins go. So it's really hard to have to hold my hand like that while I'm holding the camera. But I can do it. There we go. I had to just move my hand over to press the B button in order to push the ball back. No, pinball is a difficult experience. Let me tell you, me as the master of Pong, me as someone who has been so good at Pong, I am so good at Pong that you don't even understand how good at Pong I am. Listen, trust me, believe me, I'm just tremendous at Pong. So I've got the experience here. You want to challenge me, Drunken Ninja? You want to challenge me IRL to a game of Pong? I will challenge you to a game of Pong IRL. Give me the time, give me the place. I don't care if it's in the middle of Tijuana Square while the cartel are shooting one another. Give me the game of Pong and I will settle that drug bust or whatever. Yeah. Basically, stop challenge me at Pong. Stop being a coward. I realize no one in the chat knows what I'm talking about. Only gaming channel playing pinball. Doesn't everyone play Windows pinball with one hand? But I'm playing NES pinball, bitch, bitch, bitch. You don't bitch. Look at me. Look at here. This is not. This is not your typical. This is not your son's pinball. This is your grandma's pinball, bitch. This is you don't understand, bitch. You don't understand. Let's see here. Uh, She assumed I was going to say yes because I'm asexual, but I never told her that I'm actually on the spectrum of never was honest about how I'm still not comfortable with it. That made me upset so I am not allowed to have a genital preference just because I'm asexual. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own preferences. It's not transphobic just for you to have a sexual preference. Um, we already established your skills in games are false. Lifts NES flap, real shit, real shit. No, my skills are far better than anything you can imagine, Drunken Ninja. I will challenge people's entire lives at the whim of the drug cartel in Tijuana over this. I don't care how many people you have to line up and shoot from your associates in the cartel in order to put my pinball skills on the line. It's me or them. My pinball skills or those people being lined up and shot. Make your choice, Drunken Ninja. I know you have the connections. No one knows what I'm talking about. Uh, hey, that's a pinball. It is a pinball. It is. I'm a boomer. Yeah, give me those cartel connections. I want to be a friend of the cartel. You want to be a friend of the cartel. I need a Hoover Max really fast right now. Somebody get me a Hoover Max. I think everything I've said on this live stream warrants that I get a Hoover Max immediately. I will put a I will put a bounty on you after I win at Pong. Um, my phone is at 5% now, so I have to plug it in. See, this is the worst aspect of live streaming on a phone. Is that whenever I live stream on a phone, the phone always like rapidly runs out of battery, and because I don't have my tripod right now, I can't just plug it in and then go grab something else. Fear and Loathing at Mexican Restaurant Arc. Yes. I mean, ideally, I would just want to set up a TV in the middle of Tijuana in the square while the cartel has several people lined up to be shot. That if I win, the people are free, and if Drunken Ninja wins, the people are shot. I think that's the ideal. Let's see here. The weird part was out of everything in the end, she did a 180 on me and said I only see you as a friend and that I have other intentions. In my head, I was like, what the fuck? I never got proper closure. Yeah, sometimes, sometimes, sometimes that happens. Like, people are just confusing. I try not to think about it when it gets to that point, which is, I know, silly advice, but it works. Hi, Star. I just woke up. I woke up at 10 p.m. today, so 10 p.m. gang. I took like 2 blotters of canazolam, and then I passed out, and then I woke up at 10 p.m. Um, let's see here. Yeah, let me see if I can stack some books and then point them at the television. I don't know which I don't know which books I should stack. Do you want to see me go through my books? Because I went through all of my video games on the stream earlier today, and so why don't I go through some of my books? These books were gifted to me by Arrowend. We've got Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. This book I have not read yet, but I plan to. The Wealth of Nations, books 1 and 3, which again is another gift from Arrowend. To Our Friends by the Invisible Committee, another gift from Arrowwind. The Communist Manifesto by Frederick Engels and Karl Marx. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which I'm rereading at this point. The Pigeon by Alexander Susskind. North Korea, Another Country by Bruce Cummings. The People's Republic of Walmart. How the World's Biggest Corporations Are Laying the Foundation for Socialism. Finally Some Good News by Delicious Tacos. The Selfish Gene by Richard Dawkins, which I was during a rereading of and never finished. The Little Book of Heroin by Francis Moraes. Let's see here. Addiction, A Disorder of Choice by Gene Heyman. Walden and Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. Thomas Paine and the Promise of America by Harvey J. Kaye. The Shock Doctrine by Naomi Klein. God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything by Christopher Hitchens. I'm actually having to put these books back now because, let's just review books now. I haven't actually read all of these because usually when I read something, I tend to want to reread it afterwards. Where oftentimes I'll start books and then not finish them, or I'll read something and then I'll end up finding it more important to reread that specific thing than I do to be reading new things that I have because I want to absorb all of the information. But yeah, that was the first shelf of books. Over here, which is this is the book that I'm wait a minute, let me read through the chat here for a moment. Man and His Symbols is the last thing Jung wrote before he died, right? Yes. Damn it, Star, I just remembered I have some Adderall and PCP left. Nice. But yeah, it sucks how she knew I liked her for 5 months and she couldn't be honest about it when she knew I liked her. She probably thinks I'm transphobic or something. If she does, oh well. You make me want to stream from my phone, but I only have 413 subs. I need 1K. Just work up to the point where you can have that many. One thing you could do is just get like a webcam that has a really, really long cord and then just bring that cord all over your house with the webcam. I mean, that is an option. I like how you're saying, fuck in Elgato, let me use my phone, old school YouTube 2007, 2008 vibe, I like it. I try to make my whole channel an old YouTube 2007, 2008 vibe. Like in general, that's the vibe that I want to be going for because that's the kind of YouTube that I like and respect the most. But yeah, that when I look at most channels, I always wonder why is it not more like this? And so like my channel kind of exists as not just because it's fun for me, it's because I want more content that's like this to exist because I enjoy this style of content. But this is the book I'm reading right now, The Jakarta Method, Washington's Anti-Communist Crusade and the Mass Murder Program That Shaped Our World. I'm about, how far am I of the way through this? I have 53 pages of the way through. So, yeah, not, this book is a little thick. I read like 53 pages yesterday, but I gotta get through the rest of it. The Order of Things by Michael Foucault. Haven't touched this book yet, but it'll probably be the next one I read. This book is thick as fuck. I don't know when I'm going to get around to this one, but it's The Campaign of the Century. How Upton Sinclair's race for governor of California, or excuse me, Upton Sinclair's race for the governor of California and the birth of media politics. I was drawn to this book because the sort of idea is how the kind of media apparatus that influences the political environment that we're in today all kind of started with the the elite trying to keep Upton Sinclair from winning the California governorship. So seems like a really interesting book, but I haven't read it yet. Marijuana, The Grower's Handbook by Ed Rosenthal. Read a bit of this, interesting book. In the Penal Colony by Franz Kafka. Nice, short, little horror story about like a torture machine, basically. Yeah, fun book. Um, Remembering the Kanji by James Heisig. This is by far the best way. If you want to learn Japanese, this is the best way to learn Japanese. I learned about 1,000 Japanese characters because of this book. I highly, highly recommend reading this book. Um, let's see, Remembering the Kana. This one I would not recommend so much. It didn't help me. Learning the Kana the traditional method was much more helpful. The Triflers by Mumkey Jones. This is a decent kind of like a horror. Well, not really a horror. It's a drama novel. It's a drama novel about a guy who wants to do a school shooting, and there's a group of kids who are all sort of involved with the story, and it's told in vignettes between the different perspectives of each person involved in the guy in the school shooting. Interesting book. Not the greatest thing ever, but I thought it was fine. Ecstasy, the Complete Guide, a comprehensive look at the risks and benefits of working. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, a comprehensive look at the risks and benefits of MDMA. This book is like insanely in depth. It covers a lot of shit in here, and so I only really go into the appendix. I go into the appendix to find like specific parts of the book that I might need to know about at a specific time. Like perhaps maybe one day I want to be reading about using MDMA in the treatment of PTSD, or maybe using it in the treatment of depression. Maybe I'm interested in that subject at that time. And so I flipped to the side of the book that would talk about that. But I haven't read the entire thing. I've only read specific parts. This is another marijuana book. Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky. Read a book by Moritine J. Alder and Charles Van Doren. On the Question of Technology by Martin Heidegger. The Stranger by Albert Camus. Ice by Anna Convin. Women by Charles Bukowski. Imperialism, the Highest Stage of Capitalism by Vladimir Lenin. The Rebel by Camus. First is Tragedy, then is Farce by Slavoj Zizek. Chess Story by Stefan Zweig. A Wild Sheep Chase by Hiroyuki Murakami. Addiction is a Choice by the psychologist Scalar something, I don't know the rest of his name. A Happy Death by Albert Camus. The Woman in the Dunes, another Japanese book. Charles Bukowski's Post Office, Taipei by Tao Lin. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus, and War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler. That's like a look at all of the books that I have on my desk. That's everything. Holy shit. I don't know how these were actually ordered. I feel like I could order these in more of a logical kind of way. Let me see. Yeah, I could probably order these books in a more logical way. But yeah, that's everything. Hello, Flitzpipe. You missed literally all of the most interesting parts of the stream. The stream is probably going to end soon. But yeah, rate those of you who are readers, rate my taste in books. Hi, Flitzpipe. Hello. Yeah, not bad. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, I read like there's so many books that I need to read, that I want to read. Jesus Christ. Like I haven't made it the way through the books that I own, much less all of the books that I need to read. Hello, Flitz. Everyone's saying hi to Flitz now. This is Reorganization Gang. Top-down organization gang. Well, that's more logical of a way to put them. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Put my glasses here. Okay. 2 out of 10. Wow. That's is it that bad? Wow. 8.5, high points for Heidegger and scientific literature. Thank you. Uh, hey, thank you, Rimu. Rimu just gave me $4 for the stream. Book tastes depend on what you want out of reading. Exactly, it is subjective, like most things. Star could be a drug expert slash counselor type of person. I appreciate that sentiment, but I don't think I've read nearly enough. I don't think I've read nearly enough to be able to be in a position like that, but thank you. I don't read anyway, lol. Let's see here. A book, I'm just busting your balls. Okay. Yeah, no, I think it's important. I think it's important for people to do that from at least from time to time. It puts everything in perspective, not to get offended about things people say. Not that I was offended, but yeah, once I learn Japanese, I want to learn I want to learn Russian because there's a lot of scientific stuff that was written in Russian that I just don't have access to. And stuff about like the parts of history that I'm really interested in, like the Cold War and whatnot, that I want to be able to speak some of the Eastern European languages in order to understand that stuff more. Wow, what are super stickers? Very base. I don't know what you mean. If you study that specifically, I mean like in the future. Yeah, I mean, I maybe I will. To be honest, maybe I will. It's all up in the air. Have you gotten around to the Murakami book? I read parts of it when I bought it, but I never finished it because there was something kind of esoteric about the writing that I wasn't in the mood for, where it was like I have to be in a specific mood to be able to read a book like this. And so I was not in the right place to be reading it, but I definitely will get around to it eventually. Um, let's see here. But I want to read more psychology stuff. Obviously I want to read Sigmund Freud. Um, but I have more books that are in my closet, but I like you saw earlier in my closet, just to reiterate, it is an unmitigated disaster in my closet. This is yeah, this is there's no way the books that are in here, there's no way for me to get the books that are in here out of here, you know? Um, so unfortunately I can't review slash show those off. Um, I have a copy of the Torah somewhere. I don't know, I want to know where it is. Where is I have a copy of the New Testament, the Quran, and the Torah. And I think I always kept them close to my bed. Maybe they're under my bed. Uh, let's see here. Let's go under the bed for a moment. They don't appear to be under the bed. Uh, what is this gross stuff that's at the end of my bed? What is this? I don't know what this is. This like gross, strange. I don't know what's been going on under here. Listen, I just work here. Dog hair. It is dog hair. Hello. Hello, everyone. This is me under my bed. Um, I wish I had room for physical books. I read majority of books digitally now. I mean, I don't really have that much room for them. Not the way I've been storing them, at least. But yeah, I don't see anything under here. Why don't I just remove the bed frame? Why is the bed frame not gone? The bed frame shouldn't exist. The bed frame shouldn't exist. What is in here? I want to know. I actually don't know. Yeah, okay, so it looks like these are a lot of clothes. Oh, wow. What is this? A a safe place for youth to seek help. Get this out of here. Uh, $5 from Yoshika Miyako. Thank you. Thank you for giving me money. I appreciate it. Um, a Nintendo DS. Am I just showing you everything I own now? Uh, does this DS even still turn on? I wonder. So it hasn't been charged in like years, I'm sure. No, the DS does not turn on. What else? What game is in here, I wonder? What was the last game I was playing? Hey! This is funny. The last game I was playing on the Nintendo DS was Resident Evil Deadly Silence, which was the remake of the first Resident Evil game. Star streams are peak comfy, no cap. Bruh, it ain't even a DS Lite. It is a DS Lite, see? Um, the Star Collection fawn. Yeah, no, I'm glad you guys. I'm glad you guys like listening to me just ramble about. This is where the heating pad was. I had been looking for this for so long. It was a razor blade. Get this out of here. I had been looking for this for so long. I needed this heating pad when I was having back pain again because I'm old. Uh, and yeah, now I have it again. This is amazing. This is an amazing discovery that I'm making here. Uh, what is in here? What is it? Oh, this is where I was keeping this stuff. New Star Adventures. This is a Star Collection. So like right now, we've got let me just like move the light forward so I can slightly. That's a bad idea. Not moving that lamp. Uh, we have so many Star Collection-a-thon. Do you know how many old video game systems I have? I don't mess around. We've got the Nintendo 64, just lonely, completely lonely by itself, and an old fat PS2 that no longer works. Part of me, like, I'm thinking of just repairing this thing. Granny Star needs her heat pad. Please make a granny voice. I'm not doing that. Uh, but yeah, this is I think I might try to repair this. That joystick is a trip. I think I might actually try to repair this because like it doesn't work with discs. I've tried putting please kill those systems. No, I'm not going to kill them. They're great. Physical media is amazing. Clean. Oh, clean. Yeah, I will at some point. But I think yeah, I might just leave the PS2 out here until it's fixed. Because yeah, this joystick, this is the ColecoVision joystick. Where it's got the keypad that were on all of the ColecoVision controllers, and then it's got, I think this was like a joystick for like a racing game, and yeah, that's what that is. We've got the ColecoVision steering wheel in here, a second PS2 controller. I never play two players with anybody, so it just sits in here. Um, for some reason, I had it. This is how old you can tell these things are because I got my Nintendo 64 when I was very young. Like I want to say like 8-ish. That was like I got my Nintendo 64 at like a pawn shop. Um, so around that time, I liked labeling things a lot. When I was 8, I was obsessed with labeling things. I labeled everything that I owned. And so this is what my handwriting looked like when I was around years old. I mean it should be obvious that this is the power Nintendo 64, but I again, a little kid has not as much awareness about those things. Sega Genesis, Sega. You know what? I'm gonna hook this up again too. I want to play this. I don't have all of like the chords and stuff I need for the Sega Genesis, but I miss having the Sega Genesis around. Wow. We're just I'm gonna put the PlayStation 2 like on top of my television. See, this is how a real gamer lives. This is where, this is how things, this is where it belongs. Jesus, what am I doing with my life? Um, but I need to fix the PS2. The PS2, like, it needs to be fixed first. That's the problem with it. Does it even, do I even have the chords for it in here? If Youngstar wrote SS, it looked very German, trademark. Yes. Um, what even are all of the chords in here? I don't even know. I don't even know what some of these chords are. I realize now that I actually, if I hook this up, that would mean I have two different PlayStation 2s hooked up in my room, which is kind of funny. Um, it is my favorite console of all time. What do I have written in here? Oh, old Japanese notes. This is funny. This was me. This was me trying. This was E, the E sound, or wait, no, wait, yeah, wait, no, it was ooh, ooh, and this is the E sound. It was me. This was me. I want to say like 2016. This was me in 2016 trying to use Nam Sensei videos to learn the kana for Japanese. So that was 4 years ago. I was trying to do that. Um, I'll just put that in here along with the Nintendo 64. Bye bye, friend. Bye bye, cruel world. Uh, yeah, that what am I doing? Yeah, this collectathon. I what other things do I have, like esoteric things that I can show people? I mean that. Well, I don't want to say what I stored in there. Um, I could show you my manga, I guess. This is the. I should have renamed this stream to the collectathon stream because I realize this entire stream is just me narcissistically showing you the things that I consume. I have the full set of Welcome to the NHK manga. This is yeah, the anime series is obviously like my favorite anime of all time, but the manga is worth reading. Um, my lesbian experience with loneliness, Bake Monogatari, copies of Dead Dead Demons Day to Day Destruction that my friend J-Ness really generously gifted to me. The life-changing manga of Tidying Up, which clearly, if you look at my room, I've never followed those rules. I guess this is interesting. Japanese copies of Doraemon. Now, the reason I had this was because while I was learning Japanese more heavily, um, I had I had wanted native media to consume to get better at Japanese, and so I bought the Japanese versions of the Doraemon comics. I can't read too much of this now because it's been a little while since I've studied Japanese, but yeah, the original Doraemon. Um, Big Dick is in the house. How did you even find this live stream? No, thank you. You're not even subscribed to my channel. Have you looked into the catalog of old Digibro's channel? I have seen almost all of her videos. Like, I mean, actually, almost all of them. Um, yeah, I think there's probably something in here that I could show you that would be interesting. Let's look at all of these old shirts. Wait, what book is that? What is all of this stuff that's like recommended? It was in your recommended feed. What is, I'm trying to, we've got the Elgato Game Capture box in here. Where? Wait, practice with example. Oh no! This is no way, look, this is no way to be treating an Algebra 2 book. This is no way to be treating an Algebra 2 book. The amount of disrespect involved in this. Like, look at all of these things that are just randomly thrown in here. I feel so bad about this. Like this, okay, this is a bad book. This book, this book's bad. I don't need to respect this book. Uh, this is like the organization and wow. Wow. This is I don't know why I would store this. I don't know why I would store this in here. This is we're just finding the most amazing things today. Like why would this be right here specifically? Um yeah, I don't what was I looking for? There was something I was looking in here to show you. Uh yeah. Ugh. Oh, you've seen every Digi video, have you? Have you heard about the have what about the 6-hour Digi's crib? I watched that like 4 years ago. Literally 4 years ago. Because I had patroned them just so I could save all of the Patreon videos, and I had patroned them only once, and then just grabbed all of the free content, which seems like it should be against the rules, but it worked for me. But yeah, that was in like 2016-ish that I did that. So yeah. What about Blackma Bamba? No, that sounds like a newer thing. A lot of the newer stuff, I'll admit, I haven't seen. Um, uh, let me put this here, I guess. Yeah, you can watch High Speed Pinball. Um, yeah, I think there's something just broken about this machine. Like, this machine right here doesn't, it doesn't, in my experience, read discs properly. And, I think maybe it's tried for good, maybe it's not. The only way I can tell for sure is by putting in a disc that is that is not scratched, which most of my discs are scratched. But what about every Project Awesomeness and Japanese Club videos? I've seen those. It's the opposite of new and old as shit. Is it like one of the videos that they made on their blog, like one of the unlisted videos that they put on their blog back in the day? It might be, and I'm just not remembering it. Let me see here. I gotta plug this thing in. My phone gets so hot whenever I'm doing a live stream. I don't know what's so strenuous about this activity causes the that causes the phone to do as it does, but what it do, be what it do, I suppose. So it's probably, as I'm doing this, I'm afraid it might cut out or something. Let's see here. Um, but, why would you ever look at your recommended page? Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on the Jupiter. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Okay, there we go. It is fixed. Now let's see if the camera cut out in the time I was gone. Okay. Yeah, what I was getting last time with this was just a disk read error, so I'm assuming what it's going to do again is not read discs. But I'm going to test it with the DVD that I made. God damn it. Nothing seems to be showing up. I should rewatch Billy and Mandy. You should. It's a good show. But there's a problem with the S video port on my television where whenever I put in anything through S video, it always fucks up. Like I think the S video port is just like broken or something. It just doesn't work right. So let me take the S video out, and then technical difficulties stream. Maybe it'll work now. Maybe try blowing the dust out of my television. I don't think that would work. Um, I constantly have problems with this TV. I really need a new one. See, and then it tells me that it's S video anyway, even though I'm obviously trying not to put S video in it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe if I unplug that, maybe it wasn't sufficiently turned off for long enough. But I'm constantly having problems with this TV of like, even though you just saw it working with the NES, I like stuff will just not work a lot of the time on this television, and I don't know why. But yeah, Billy and Mandy is a great show. I enjoyed it a lot. S video. Um, where is front? Star Senpai, best senpai. Thank you. Ouch! It's not working. She's not doing her job. Front. It should be working in front, right? How is it possible that I have a very clear memory of watching VHS and listening to tons of cassettes as a kid? I should be too young. Well, I meant blowing dust out the S video port. Misunderstood where you were saying the issue was. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. Um, I mean, the reason why I had so many VHS tapes as a kid was because um, my family couldn't really afford to get the latest and greatest technology for like my room. So in my room, I had all of the really old technology. I mean, we had dial up until Jesus, like until I was like 12 or like 11, like 11 or 12. We had dial up until then. So we had dial up for a long time. I don't actually remember. What was I that old? I think I might have been a little bit younger. Basically, we had dial up for a long time. And in my room, I always had the old technology, the technology that was handed down to me from everybody else. And so I have nostalgia for like VHS and stuff because that's what I had as a kid, sort of out of that just being what was given to me. That like everyone else had the more technically advanced stuff. Um, Kids don't care about video quality anyways. I still don't care about video quality. uh, but my family is German upper middle class. I had a lot of Disney audio cassettes. Well, I mean, I don't know, maybe they just gave them to you anyway. Um, Imagine being upper middle class. There was a long time when I like actually hated those people. Like genuine hatred towards people who were middle class just for the sake of them being middle class. Obviously, I don't feel that way anymore, but there's like a very small part of me that still, and I try to suppress this part of me as much as I possibly can because I know it's wrong. And so like I never discriminate or act mean to people who have more income than me, but I was not always like that. I didn't always have that much restraint. I used to really, really hate people who were middle class, like genuine hatred. Uh, uh, Damn, Star, still streaming. You must be having a great time. I'm having technical difficulties, is what I'm having. Um, Fucking hell. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm having fun. A lot of them didn't get remade in CD. Yeah, that is true. Um, oh wait, I know what I did wrong. You're gonna think I'm retarded for saying this, but I literally did not plug in. I literally did not plug in the video cable. Jesus Christ, I'm so dumb. How dumb do you have to be? How dumb do you have to be to spend all of this time just assuming that the video cable is plugged in? Wow. Oh my god. uh, let's. I. all of this, like me turning the TV around and trying to fix things was just because I didn't have the video cable plugged in. 200 hey, there it goes. A 200 IQ star. Yeah. So let me try and test this thing to see if it works. Um, yeah, I am. I feel like I am genuinely retarded.